And we continue, Dirshu Mishna Berurah, Hilchos Netilas Yadaim, Siman Kof Nun Ches. We're up to Sif Beis. Says the Machaber Yesh Misha Omer, quoting the Rokeach, there are those that hold, Shemein Al Yoichel, if you're not eating. Ella, what are you not eating? Ella Pachais Mikabeya. You're eating less than a beya's worth of bread. Yitol Yadav Lo Yivarich. And this is going to cause a massive issue. So now, you're not eating so much bread, you don't make a bracha on the Netilas Yadaim. Says the Mishnah Berurah Sivkatan Tes. You're eating pachas mekebeya. Hatam. Why do you not make a bracha of al Netilas Yadaim? Mishem Delinian Toma. Pachas mekebeya and mekabel Toma. That amount of food is not mekabel Toma mid'araisa. And therefore, the food will not become tamei, and therefore, they were not goyzer on the netila. One reason. Reason number two, or do we say with regard to benching, it's called achila. You make a berachas hamazon on a kezayis. Chashiva gamnin netilas yadayim. Therefore, it should work for netilas yadayim as well, and you should make it on netilas yadayim. This is the suffix. And because of the suffix, yital yadav leyavarich, you don't make al netilas yadayim. The bracha einay me'akeves hanetila. The bracha of al netilas yadayim does not hold back the netila. V'dan, you should know demayavaichal shir kabeya. If you're eating the amount just without the shell, that everyone holds, yes, needs the netila with a bracha. So the Dirshu over here, in note number 15, goes into the classical shayla of shiurim bizman hazeh. Note number 15, Dirshu quotes the Nadi Yehuda and the Chasam Sofer, that our eggs have shrunk nowadays, and the share of a beya is really 2 beitzim of our eggs. The Shevet HaLevi points out, certainly on 1 egg you would have to make a bracha of al netilas yadayim. Why? Because even according to this shita, it's only a suffix. And because of the chiv netila, there's a machlekes hapaiskim if it's kezayis or a beya. So svek sveika is going to be lekula. But now, let's just go a drop further here in the Dirshu. My highlighter stopped working. Ulinian Shir says Dirshu. What about the amount of time to eat this amount? Shir azman lachila ashir kebeya. Says Rav Shlomo Zalman Auerbach. Again, I apologize that our highlighter just stopped working. Says Rav Shlomo Zalman Auerbach. The shear is shemitzar of the kabeyo sheichel kol kezayis bechdei achilas pras. You have to eat each kezayis because a beya is 2 zeisim in the amount of time of achilas kezas. Similarly, Rav Shlomo Zalman held that one who knows that he's not going to eat 2 zeisim of bread, which is a kabeya, with ein kidei achilas pras, yital yada v'lo yivarich. We have to just internalize what Rav Shlomo Zalman just taught us. If you know that each kizayis you're not eating within the amount of time of Kedei Achilas Pras, you don't make a bracha of al netilas yadayim. Shevet HaLevi, however, comes along, and he says no. If you're going to eat im yoichel rak zayis b'Kedei Achilas Pras, and the rest of the beya you're going to eat in a longer amount of time, which this is going to be the very common case. Because everyone knows, or many people know, I should say, that Lamaisa, let's go Chala and Shabbos, that the first kizayis you have to eat with Kedei Achilas Pras, because you have to have your bracha to be, you have to be Yaitse. So that first piece, big chunk of bread, you eat within the amount of time. The problem is the second kezayis, which many people unfortunately don't eat, which we're going to make a comment on that in a moment, but let's say even you are eating, you're going to nibble it throughout the meal. On that, says the Shevet HaLevi, Shir, that you could be more makel with 9 minutes, be more makel on the zman. So the Shevet HaLevi is giving us already a little bit of leeway. That you have up until 9 minutes to eat your second zayis. Rav Elyashiv says, if you're eating also not within 9 minutes, you can make the bracha. But if you're eating other things, says Rav Elyashiv, and you're talking in between, not a problem. as long as you have in mind at the beginning when the first kazayis, not to be misiach das. And this is really where we have to pause and we have to really internalize what this halacha is teaching us. Because many people know, let's just go again, challah on a Friday night, that in order to be yaitze, you have to have a kazayis of challah b'ktei achilas pras within a few minutes. And that is perfectly accurate. But we're learning over here something extremely important. That, and if you want to know what sheet this is, just to point out, the Shartzi in the Sifkat and Tess says this is the famous Gain, that the Gain holds that less than a kabeya, it's not mekabel tuma. And with this he answers the kasha of the Magen Avram. Okay, but the Gain himself says that on a kazayis you would make a bracha, so it gets a little bit confusing. And this is where, I know we just interrupted ourselves, but we'll see Dirshu number 16 with what we're about to say. So from that basic halacha that we just saw, what comes out? What comes out is that Friday night, Shabbos day, when it comes to eat your challah, you have to be makbid to eat a kebeya. Why? Even if you're yaita with your kazayis, but still, you're only able to make the al Netilas Yadaim if you had a beya. So you're right, you're yaita with your kazayis, but the brach of al Netilas Yadaim is in question. Shartzi and Sifkat and Tess over here, Dirshu number 16 saves the day. Comes along Dirshu, because the Shartzi quoted that the Gain allowed you to make al Netilas Yadaim even on a kazayis. Comes along the Chazon and he went with the Gra. And Ubesudai Shabbos, Yadav, the Chazon himself would wash his hands and make a bracha al Netilas Yadaim and only eat a kazayis. And he would give everyone else a kazayis. So that's the Chazon. Comes along Rav Moshe, and he says, and this is really the concluding lines of this sif, because now we have a big shayla. We just learned the Shulchan Aruch, Rav Shlomo Zalman, Rav Elyashiv, all taught us that you have to have a kebeya, but now we have a gain. So what do? So Rav Moshe answers us, and he says, Vaday lechatchila toiv sheyoichel kebeya. Lechatchila, you want to eat a kebeya. Aval, however, if you're only going to eat a kazayis, you would have to make a bracha in deference to the shita of the Chazon and the Vilna Gaon. Rav Elyashiv came along and he said if it's difficult to eat bread, you can be semach on the gra and make a bracha. So, really what we're learning over here is this comes out to be a halacha of a lichatchila. B'diavad we'll call it shas adchak, makam at sayrech. One is not able to eat more, okay? You could be mekel and make your al Netilas Yadayim on a kazayis. But lemaisa, we're seeing the critical importance. Let's say you're going to eat the kebeya anyways. Why take an extra 10 minutes? Okay, so we saw the Shevet HaLevi says you have 9 minutes. But once we learned this halacha, we have to realize the lechatchila is to make sure to certainly eat a kebeya, and the best would be to eat that kebeya within Kidei Shir Achilas Pras.